Uh, I think made in Chicago, I want to say. Oh,
The Windy
this is
City.
important. Ben,
Paul.
if I were going to say a horrible beverage created in Chicago, would you know what I'm referring to?
People who drink their pizza? I have no idea.
No, no, no. Okay, so it has a bad reputation. It is called Malort, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Malort
Um,
sounds like a posh European, like Mediterranean destination.
but it is an alcoholic beverage that Jennifer and I heard a bunch about. So as you know, Ben, I famously do not drink, but I have now drunk. I have now drunk.
You
In the
have
past,
you have imbibed?
I imbibed one shot of this, and it was fine. People talk about how bad it is. Eh,
Well, I mean,
I say.
yeah, you don't drink, so you don't really have a lot to compare it to. But what did it taste
I
like?
guess not. NyQuil, kind of.
All right, I can see why people would say it's bad now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't drink. I
Um.
don't drink Nyquil even if I'm sick.
See, I drink it all the time.
I prefer Robitussin.
Um. Why are you so shiny? Everything is plastic. Robitussin.
I last week I had some audio issues. I figured it out. Pretty proud of myself. I used
Oh,
loopback.
good.
I used loopback to route the audio signals internally in the computer, and for some reason the boom mic here, bump bump bump.
Oh,
It was
that's probably fine.
it was
Probably no
it,
no
it was
problem.
only set to 38% for some
Huh.
reason. So we're good. We're all good here. Oh, Paul, I did watch something though.
Oh yeah.
There was a show that I mentioned a while ago that I said I bounced after two episodes because it didn't
Yes.
capture me. Do you
I know
remember
exactly what you're
which
talking about.
show I am talking about?
It was The Residents,
It
Ben.
was indeed The Residents. Well, Paul, I gotta tell you, I think so. The reason why I bounced after a couple episodes is because I can't remember what other shows there were, but there were a couple other shows that I wanted to watch like
Mm-hmm.
more at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Now there isn't that, so and also a little bit of my white guilt kind of crept in, being like, why did you bounce away from this show with a black woman led character, main character? I felt, I'll be honest, I felt a little guilty. So I went back and I rewatched the first two episodes and I watched the rest of the series, and I will honestly say I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, it's good. It's a good show,
Yeah.
and plus Ken Marino's in it.
Which one was Ken Marino?
Ken Marino is
Is he Harry? Sounds like a Harry name.
the guy who was well, this is I'm trying to the guy who was a jerk.
That's Harry.
Yeah, Harry
Harry Hollingsworth. He was like the
had it.
president's
Yes,
best
Harry
friend.
Hollingsworth. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep, that was him. He's done a bunch of different things, and I like him.
It also, well, actually, also one of the reasons why I decided to revisit it is because they announced that it was not renewed for a second season. So
Oh,
I'm like, all right, so
boo!
I'll watch it because I can like do one and done of it, and I don't have to like be anxious waiting 3 years for another season.
I thought it was good.
But Julian McMahon played the Australian Prime Minister in it, and Julian McMahon, as you may or may not know, passed away last week.
Oh, he did. That's right. I did see something about that. Now, Ben,
Paul,
start the clock, my friend.
start the clock.
I have taken Reddit off my phone. I've taken YouTube off my phone. Now, I will still watch YouTube, but I will now only watch it on my television. If I'm gonna check something out on
Yeah.
YouTube, I will check it out on the TV.
I still.
The idea being
Yeah.
not using my phone
There you go.
as much as possible.
And is it working?
So far, it's working. This is the more important part. Part number two is I've been going to bed at my bedtime, which is 10 p.m. I had consistently been staying up until midnight,
Right. And you have a
and I was like,
pretty early day too, so
mm, I don't know. I get up around 7 now.
I mean that's earlier than I get up.
Yeah.
I don't watch YouTube on my I have YouTube on my phone. I don't watch it on my phone generally, and I try not to watch it on my TV because I only if I want to watch YouTube, I only watch it on Firefox because I have an ad blocker. Don't tell Google. And without an ad blocker, YouTube is unwatchable for
Wow.
me.
Yeah. I do understand that, and I have not been watching it that much. I try not to. Now when I watch YouTube, I usually watch it because somebody said, "Hey, you should look at this."
Yeah.
Like Andy, friend of the podcast, Andy will send me like he sent me a bunch of Super Friends health and safety tips from the 1980s or 70s or whatever.
The
That sort of thing.
tags at the end of the
Hmm.
episodes. Yeah.
Like somebody had a 10-minute long like list of them.
I
And it's
remember G.I. Joe did that too. He
yeah.
Man did that.
Hmm. It was one of those things that I think that probably somebody made them. You know, you can stay on the air doing your occult stuff, but you gotta make sure to mention not eating before food.
There.
Not eating before food. Don't Ben, don't eat me. Ben.
You will ruin
Ben.
food if you eat before food.
Exactly. Uh, um, big shirt idea. Don't eat before food. Hopefully nobody else has done it. Before before us.
No, there was a whole thing back in the 80s where, like, I think it was like Nancy Reagan got involved and tried to get, much like kids off of drugs and black people in prison, she tried to get, cartoons to be more educational.
I think that sounds like a Nancy Reagan thing to do. So yeah, and the time checks out as
No,
well.
it was Nixon who's mostly the racist. Nancy was more like anti-gay.
But here's the thing, the important thing. I am not paying attention to the news. I have found out a couple of things. Flooding in Texas, found
Yeah,
out about it.
that happened.
Um, the Epstein lists and things
But Paul,
miraculously
what Epstein
never have,
list?
yes, never have been in existence apparently.
Yeah.
Um,
Prompting a flood
it
of
is,
memes about Ghislaine Maxwell and why is she in prison if there's no list?
yeah. And then that other thing about at one point in time, someone somewhere was quoted as saying that there was video and stuff. I can't imagine who it was or why they would have said anything like that. If in fact there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
Well, not it's not just that there's no list, but in the video of Epstein's jail cell, there's 1 minute of missing footage.
Oh, but Ben, isn't that the 1 minute that's missing from every single recording that's ever been from that prison? This is what Jennifer told me that they said that's when the tape switches over. So there's always 1 minute that isn't recorded.
Convenient.
Hmm. And how do we know that? Because trust me, they say.
Don't trust what your eyes and ears tell you. Trust what I say.
Exactly. Who are you going to believe, Ben? Me or your lying eyes, as famously has been said before. So this I finished off a Just Mango from Trader Joe's, and I have this. Do you remember my protein puffs
Oh, how can
jar,
you
Ben?
forget the protein puffs?
I'm putting all of my trash in the protein puff jar, and it's been working pretty well. Now, as you have probably already seen, my protein puffs jar is no longer filled with it's my own bar mix, Ben. I put in whatever I want and I eat it, and it's good.
Weird.
It's a nice time, and I recommend having your own jar of snack foods that you just put in. It's great. So here's the question, Ben. Is there anything that I have not been privy to that I should know about?
Uh, I don't think so. There's not, like you mentioned the big stuff, and the news is essentially just around those events, right? Like
Mm.
famously during the Texas freeze a couple years ago, when like the entire power grid of Texas went down. Ted
Hmm.
Cruz, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, was seen flying with his family to some warmer southern climate.
Yes, I've heard of this
Well,
for sure.
during these Texas floods, guess who was on vacation allegedly?
Oh, was it Ted
It
Cruz,
was
senator from Texas?
indeed Texas Senator Ted Cruz. So
Mm.
that's one of the stories. The other thing, pardon me, about
Wow, man, incredible.
there must be bubbles in my bubbly water. Um,
I think there must be. Yes.
is just the whole circus around Epstein. Trump is doing everything he can to deflect it. In fact, during the cabinet meeting, when somebody asked Attorney General Pam Bondi, who said the files were on her desk earlier, or the list was on her desk earlier, now she's saying there's no list. Somebody asked her in a cabinet meeting like about it, and Trump interrupted and was like, "That's old news. Why are you talking about that guy?"
Ooh,
From the guy
wow.
who still brings up the 2020 election. So, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things of then there's a short story that I read when I was a kid, and I wish I could remember what the story was. I've looked for it, I haven't been able to find it. There's this guy, and he's at a party, and there's a woman who comes in, and when the woman comes in, he says something to her, um, and she thinks that maybe he's flirting, or maybe somebody else thinks that he's flirting. And so he goes all around to every single person in the party and tells the story about how people thought they was flirting with this woman, but he really wasn't. And it's one of those things, if you're reading it, and even as a kid, uh, you're like, if you hadn't said anything, this would not be a problem at all. But now you've just made it into a crazy Streisand effect. That's what I was trying to think of. Streisand effect.
Where you try
You
to
know,
remove something from the internet.
when you try to, well, you try to refute a story or to downplay it, and it just makes it bigger.
Right.
Which I believe happened to Marvin Streisand. Uh, but no, and no one remembers him because he was able to remove everything about himself from the internet. Oh, I think we talked about that. Did we? The fake comedy guy who isn't really a fake comedy guy.
The fake comedy guy who really isn't a fake comedy guy.
Yeah, I think his last name is J, not Ricky J, but someone J or something. Ben, it's too bad that I don't have any of my faculties with me. I've had back problems, but there's a guy. He's a comedian from Great Britain,
Okay.
and he wears like these pajamas and these white gloves, and he has this really weird little act that he puts on. And so all these people said, well, this isn't a real guy. This is obviously AI generated and backdated. They did a little creepy pasta off of it. But somebody did a deep dive and showed that he really was a real guy. They have like information on him from
And
like TV
and why do people care about
guides.
this guy?
Well, the reason they care about him is because somebody claimed that he was a CIA experiment or something to make people believe that he existed. They're trying to the story is they're trying to make people believe that this guy existed to prove that they can insert someone into the public consciousness to
Uh,
make it seem like this guy has always been around.
they're wagging the dog. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't, but yeah, sort of like that. It sounds like.
There,
Um,
yeah,
Robert De Niro
exactly. Robert De
was in
Niro.
it.
Woody Harrelson was also in it.
Is it okay? Now I'm starting to remember. I haven't seen it, but I think I know what it's. There's a country, and they're trying to make it look like the country is at war with the U.S. or something like that. In order to do something political.
Yeah, they're distracting from a presidential controversy. So they've created a war, and all like with
Is Dustin
Albania, I
Hoffman in
think.
it?
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman is in it,
Wait,
and
is Robert De Niro in it, or did I
yeah,
make that part
Robert De
up?
Niro's in it.
Okay,
So Robert De Niro
okay.
is like the CIA operative or the like the fixer, and
Hmm.
Dustin Hoffman is like the movie producer who's helping him like come up with all these things and
Mm,
hire all the people to create like this anti-war movement for a war that doesn't exist.
gotcha. But that's the basic idea. The idea is that they are creating this guy and his crazy act, and that this guy and his act really don't exist.
Yeah.
But then again, there's this other guy who did a big deep dive about, here's a video of him that got posted on YouTube years before AI, stuff. Basically, the thing that people are saying is if it has a timestamp on YouTube prior to 2023, it's basically not AI because they can't do that. Now here's something that's really interesting. AI generated generation of video stuff starting in 2003. That's only 2 years ago. Technology is moving
So
super fast.
fast.
Yeah.
So fast you can't even see it.
And I'm starting to not believe people when they say that I don't know, Jennifer's in this camp. She says you're always going to be able to tell. People will get better at telling. And I think it's possibly true, but it's also that thing of I've never seen a good toupee. I always notice them. That whole deal.
You only notice the bad ones, though. I
Right.
mean,
Exactly. I mean, that's the that's the
that's the
that's the
point.
joke, right? Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I mean, like but doesn't matter because there's this fake band that has gained like a big following on Spotify and has
oh,
had like
I heard about
millions of
that too.
streams, right? And it's all AI generated.
Someone said that the millions of streams might have been goosed, though.
Goose like so
That
so only bots are listening to this AI band.
bots are listening to an AI band is the concept,
Cool.
which I think is great.
A little bit of business. I forgot that I'm not going to be around on next Thursday. So we should have done a two for today, but I totally forgot and I can't.
Uh-huh.
Are you free tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday?
I'm free. I'm free tomorrow,
All right.
I believe. We can do that.
You want to get together again tomorrow?
Yeah, same time.
All right. Yeah, same time.
I'll check with Jennifer, but I think it'll be okay. Um, I'll let you know. She's at an MRI right now.
Is she okay?
Well, I mean, it's her thing, right? It's been her neurological issues.
Yeah.
And is that right? Neurologic? I mean, neurological isn't just your brain,
Well, your
right?
brain,
It can
your
be your
brain
nervous
affects
system.
everything.
Um, so yeah.
The brain is the most
Now that
important
we're
organ in your body, but you got to think about who's telling you that.
yeah. That's right. Uh, I'm thinking of yeah, not to speak too badly about where we used to live, but now that we're in Chicago and there are more experts medically
Right.
speaking,
Yeah.
she's actually she's getting back into finding out maybe what she can do to help
That's good.
the issue.
That's
So
actually
yeah, we'll find out.
that's actually one of the questions people ask when like I'm at a function or something and I bring you up and they're like, "How's Jennifer doing?" And I'm like, "I think she's fine."
Yeah, I mean, she's not she's she's not where she was, right? And what I mean by that is that there was a time when she could like play badminton and do like all that stuff.
Yeah.
She's not there, but she also is able to do more than she had been
Okay, that's good.
back when we left Seattle. She's
Like
gotten,
driving herself to an MRI appointment.
well, yeah. I mean, she probably could have done that too, but I'm talking more walking, around the city a little bit,
Building a soundproof booth in your home.
building a soundproof booth by herself. Well, I helped, but
And I
not
help.
really. And it's shake and bake. It's shake and bake, and I
When
help.
was the last time you had shake and bake? Do they even still make that?
I think they
Do they still shake and make that?
I think they do, but I don't know. The one who helped, she's probably dead now.
Too much shake and
Oh,
bake.
I met one of my neighbors who's like 94.
Yeah.
I would have thought she was in her like late 60s,
Yeah.
but 94.
Some people
And
just
she said
age gracefully.
she was happy to meet me. And then she said that I had to do something about the weeds that were in the alley, and I had just so happened to have ordered a weed whacker, and it was arriving that day. And then the next morning, my back gave out,
Oh
and so I
no.
haven't done anything. And I'm really worried that she's driving by and she's just shaking her head, going, "That Paul."
I hope that when you start whacking those weeds, that you don't go blind, and that she doesn't complain about the noise.
Yeah, well, I don't think she would. So that was kind of cool. I've been going to this improv class.
Oh yeah.
That's
You
been pretty cool.
making new friends or
Um,
enemies?
Not really making a lot of friends. Um, I am worried about Jennifer coming back from her MRI and not being able to get a hold of me. Do you get on Zoom calls, do you get notifications when, yeah, right? If somebody were to call you,
On
you
your
get a
phone?
notification, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You've gotten phone calls on the show before, like your dad called
Okay.
once.
All right, good then. She'll call if there's a problem.
Like if she forgot her house keys or something.
So every once in a while she'll leave, and if I'm not there to shut the garage door, she just leaves it open. And one time, it was kind of funny. She left to do a small errand, but then she was like, "Well, I'll pick Paul up from his improv class." And when we drove up, the garage door was open, and there was a white van that was backing up the alley to where our garage was. And then they drove away.
Do you have anything in your
And
garage that somebody with a
oh yeah.
van would want to take?
Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, no, there's nothing you want to. But if you're Ben on the podcast, yeah, there's some stuff that they could have
Okay.
taken that we would have been sad to not have anymore.
I know it's been a minute since I was there, but like the last time I was in your garage, it was just full of empty boxes.
Oh yeah, there are a different amount of empty boxes there, but also, I mean, I've got my lawnmower and my,
Right. Just
other tools.
typical garage things.
Yeah, which someone could steal and then start their own lawn care business, which would be funny.
For instance, Paul's new weed whacker.
Yes, exactly. But the weed whacker, Ben, I was talking to my therapist the other day, and by the other day I mean yesterday. No, Tuesday.
About whacking weeds.
And I said, I think that I'm old. I'm for sure old because I'm very excited about the fact that my weed whacker uses the same batteries as my lawnmower. That I have battery coverage
Going
for both
electric.
of my devices.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, electric lawnmower works fine for what I have to cut.
Yeah. I I have a friend who had an electric lawnmower, but it's really awkward when you get like halfway through mowing the lawn and the battery dies out, so then you got to stop and wait for it to charge.
This is why I bought two batteries.
That's a very smart
And
move.
now I have three because of my new weed whacker
Did it?
also having
I'm
that
assuming
battery.
it came with a battery.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And I'm not going to use the weed whacker and the lawnmower on the same day.
why
That'd
not?
be crazy. Too much work.
You're not going to use them at the same time, but certainly you could. I have used a weed whacker and a lawnmower on the same day.
You're crazy, man.
That's what
I
people
can't
say.
believe it.
That's what people have been saying.
Crazy, man.
My neighbor is like, "What are you doing?"
Your neighbors ever talk to you?
This is America. Actually, no. When I had opportunity to use a weed whacker and a lawnmower, I didn't talk to my neighbors.
Yeah. A lot of people don't.
I don't.
But
I don't talk to my neighbors now in my apartment complex. I don't know. I know people live on either side of me. I don't know.
I already
their
told you
names.
about my other neighbor, right? The chef.
Maybe.
Okay. The guy who lives next to me is a chef, and he runs. He has a little pop-up.
Oh yeah, the food truck. You did say that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. We haven't. I texted him once and said, "Hey, are you open today?" And he never texted me back. So of course, because I'm me, I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll never text him ever again," which I haven't done. I just like showing up there, and if he's there, getting something. But man, oh man, those steak tacos, Ben. I still think about them.
And it's always nice to have,
So,
a place you can go that's got food you like.
I mean, if I were going to have a catering thing that I need to get catered, I would totally use him
Oh, I thought you were
for
talking
that.
about like your third chapter in life and
Oh, if I were going to
starting
start
a
my own
catering
catering
company.
thing, no, 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 not me. No. So improv. So here's the thing. Improv is improv 101. So it's very basic.
Yeah.
I'm finding myself running into an issue where I would volunteer to do things every single time, but I don't want to do that because everybody else is
Yeah. Give everybody else a chance.
new, right? Yeah, exactly. So,
Is Betty's improv class over with, or is she still doing that?
no, it's still going. Yeah, yeah. We're both going to be done around the same time, I think.
Is there a graduation ceremony?
No,
A showcase?
there's a showcase
Yeah.
that we could do if we want. It's in 1 month, August 10th.
August 10th.
Yep. So
Oh yeah, today's
we'll see.
today's July 10th. Julio Day.
Julio Day.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
On the Mariners, there's a player, the Mariners,
Oh.
named Julio Rodriguez. And so you write JUL for July and then 10, right? Much like how March 10th is Mario
Oh.
Day.
Nice. I didn't know about either of those things. Now they make sense. No, now I got to think of whatever. If there are any other ones, I'll do it later. I'm not gonna do it now. But I'm sure there'll be something that would be fun. So yeah, Julius Caesar and Caesar Augustus, Ben, they screwed up the calendar for everybody.
Julius Caesar Augustus. The
Uh,
Gregorians had a plan.
because now September is the 9th month. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah. There was, I think we've talked about this because I was kind of like obsessed with this for a while where if humans were born with 6 fingers in each hand, then we wouldn't we wouldn't count in base 10, we would count in base 12, right? And it's actually an easier method of addition and multiplication to count in base 12. But you have 2 extra numbers.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we had base 12, like a base 12 calendar, then there's a way to put all the months back in order and have 12 months, at least, I don't know, you'd have to
Yeah.
mess with like how many days per month, right? But you would have 12 months, and December would be the 10th month.
Oh yeah.
November would be the 9th month. So
Interesting.
I can't remember
There
what the
are
other months would
some
names
people
would
that
be.
count in base 12.
The Dozenal system.
Some cultures, and they do it with their hands,
Yeah, the segments,
um,
of their
with the segments
fingers.
of the fingers, right? Um, there is also a way that we could retool the calendar if we had 13 months. You remember this?
I don't remember this.
If we had 13 months, each month could be 28 days.
Oh yeah, exact.
And then on leap year, you would have a year that isn't part of the calendar, I think was the idea.
A year.
I'm sorry, on leap year, you'd have a day that isn't part of the calendar.
It's a free day. It's the purge.
Unless I'm wrong, and you would have to. Okay, so let's think about it. I think it would be you would have 13 months of 28 days. 13 times 28, Ben, quick. What is it? Is that 364?
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, so that's right. All right. So you'd have New Year's Day would not be on any calendar. I mean, would not be part of the month system. It would be its own day outside of the month system. And then once every 4 years, you'd have New Year's Day, and then you'd have Leap Day. And then every other time of the year, uh, each month would only be four. It would be each month would be 4 weeks, and if your birthday was on a Tuesday, it would always be
Always.
on a Tuesday,
Right.
always and forever. It's pretty cool. But people hate the idea of a day that is totally not part of the calendar, which I think it's fun though.
I mean, you could have a lot of fun with the day that doesn't exist.
Yes, exactly. And then the 2 days that don't exist.
Ooh, what if they were back to back?
Well, that's what I was thinking. You could put them, you know, and nothing that you do on the day that doesn't exist. It's like Vegas, except it's a time.
Yep. What happens on that day
Uh,
stays on that day. But
exactly. Oh,
you have
yeah,
to every
Ben.
year on that day you have to go back and suffer the consequences of what you did 1 year ago on
Exactly.
that day.
Exactly. Yep. And then if you live long enough for an entire year, then you'd be 365 days old, which most people aren't. There is an interesting thing though about would the life expectancy of black people be longer if they weren't constantly being killed by the government in general?
Are we talking on an individual basis or culturally?
Well, well, okay, so the way that you figure it out, right? The way that you determine what somebody's, general lifespan is, you know, an average, right? So we live, you and I, right, have lived longer than the average in some points in history for white dudes, right? Some won't live, they don't usually live past 30, right? In some cultures. But what people will point out is they'll say, well, life expectancy may be 30, but part of the reason for that might be because all these babies keep dying. And so it's skewed, right? Because your age is averaged into a whole bunch of people who died as children. So the life expectancy of living past 30 is going to be the reason the listener can't see this, but you're looking at me with either skepticism or
I don't know. Like back in probably before there were even white people. I don't know if they took into account the mortality rate of babies into determining how old you got as an adult. I don't know if they skewed that.
oh, I'm talking about
But
when we talk about average when we in modern times talk about the average life expectancy. It usually it depends on how it's presented, but it usually is presented as an average of the total lifespan of a member of whatever demographic
sure.
you're doing.
Yeah.
So they do take babies into account when determining what the life expectancy of a group is. Infant mortality rate skews it younger than if you were to take all those babies out. So the idea is that an individual person would maybe live until a certain amount, but since you and I are not babies, we are going to most likely live longer than the average life expectancy of people in our demographic. And then expand it to just people, and probably we would still live longer. But the idea is that on the other end of the spectrum, if you have a bunch of young men who are constantly being shot,
By the police.
that demographic is all of a sudden also going to have a skewed life expectancy written. And going even further, if you are in a population that ends up dying of malpractice more often, again, gets skewed in a certain way. If you have a population who is dying of diseases that are not prioritized, skews things in a certain way.
What brings up
That
the
sort of deal.
fascination with life expectancy in regards to people of color?
I met my 94-year-old neighbor, and she looked and acted like she was about 65.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, that's kind of cool that she is so, spry and everything like that. And I started thinking back, and it's one of those things of, you know, is it because of what I know, or is it because of what I assume? And what I mean by that is this. If I meet someone who is in their 90s, I'm like, wow, they're really getting around and really, an active person. That's kind of great. Um, is it is it to do with the fact that they're still up and at 'em in their 90s, and therefore it's crazy, or is it the fact that they made it to their 90s because they are healthier than most people, and therefore them being healthy at 90 makes sense because they're still around and kicking, as it were.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but all I know is that the women in my family live a lot longer than the men do, and I tease my sister about that all the time. Is that one day she'll probably have to bury me.
Aha. And I'm starting now. I'm eating a lot. So, oh yeah, speaking of which, I have a doctor's appointment that is I have a new physician.
Yeah.
Gonna go and see them and go in, and I was like, man, I wish I had time to get into better shape. And it turns out I do. Their first available appointment was in November.
What?
So yep.
Time to get
And
that
then
Thanksgiving body ready, Paul.
they say, of course, once you actually get in with them, then you're going to be seeing them easier. It'll be easier to get in to see them after that. So,
I just had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and it was just an annual checkup. Of course, it's been about a year and a half since I've had an annual checkup, so. And the way that my doctors work, it's a community clinic. They don't actually do anything except ask me how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fine. I have like a couple of concerns they addressed. Nothing
Is
is
it
terrible.
is it the
And they
country doctor,
sent no,
Ben?
it's not the country doctor. And they sent me on
Okay.
my way with a poop in a box kit.
Ah,
They
the
did.
reason I
They did
asked,
take blood and urine, so I'll have. I
yeah,
got that going for me, so I'll be able to figure out like what my cholesterol is like.
the reason I asked is that's where we went when I was without insurance,
Yeah.
and they were really
No,
nice.
I have insurance. It's just that my insurance, like because of where I live and the type of insurance I have, which is Obamacare, I get
Yeah.
basically assigned a doctor at a specific community clinic.
Gotcha.
I've tried when I did first sign up with the Affordable Care Act when it was available. I tried to go back to my former doctor that I had when I had good health insurance when I worked at a big company,
Yeah.
and they basically said no. We can't. We're not taking new patients. The subtext being new patients with your health insurance, with your crappy health
Yes.
insurance.
Mm, but I was here. I was. What happened? Somebody got your spot. Um. So yeah, I was. Oh. I was gonna say I also talked to my therapist recently. I am down now to one appointment a month,
Oh,
and I've been doing really really well with my OCD stuff.
is this the same one who was doing the sort of like aversion therapy for you?
Yep, same thing. And it's been working out. It's been working out really good, really well, I should say. Um, yeah, the big thing is this: if I'm uncomfortable doing something, then I should do it. This is the basic uh, premise of it, and so far that's been working out pretty well. Now, that's not to say I've eaten all of these worms that I found in the yard. I didn't think I should, but then I was like, well, it's just my nothing like that. But um, like we moved the microwave because I don't like change.
Okay.
Microwave's in a different place now, and it's fine,
How does that make you
right?
feel?
It's fine. It's fine. No problems whatsoever, Ben. Microwaves is no. I was playing it up a little bit, but
Everything's great.
everything's great.
It's
So
fine.
the
It's
microwave's still
fine.
very different. What's the matter? What's the matter? Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter. Door
Why?
actually
Why are you
opens.
asking me all of these questions?
Doors opening better than it was before. Is no longer hitting the stove. Why would anyone at their microwave hit the stove? It's better where it is. Makes a lot of sense. No, I'm fine.
That's what microwaves do.
Yeah. Microwave. Oh, I went to my doctor for my this is what I was gonna this is what I was gonna say when you were talking about it for. I went to my doctor for an annual checkup. You mean annual checkup? That's not what he said. I don't know if it works or not. Probably doesn't. Look in your face, Ben. No, also bad. Uh, I've been talking to Jennifer about this. I can't tell jokes, and when I try, she gets mad at me. So
When you
I
try to like come up with a joke on the spot,
no, when I
or
try to
like,
tell a joke that I've read somewhere else,
okay,
and it doesn't work. I think I'm just not. I have a special thing where I can be funny. People have told me, and I believe them. But I can't be funny in a normal way. Like I can't actually, tell the joke and
well,
have it
you're
be
a
funny.
unique individual, Paul Goody.
Yes, this is true. And so I was trying to think of a joke that I could tell you, like one of the ones that I told her. But it's funny, my brain doesn't retain them.
I don't either.
That's yeah.
Every once in a while, sometimes somebody will be like, tell us a joke," and I'm like, I don't, I literally don't know any jokes. And sometimes when I come across one, either in a book or online, and I'm like, I try to retain its memory, it never sticks.
Hmm. Okay. So let me think. Um there was so all I can think of are jokes of things that we were going to say, but that we were going to do, but then we didn't do. Like there are some like bits that we were going to do, or didn't do, um, because we I think rightfully so was like, oh, this isn't in great taste, or there isn't a lot
Yeah.
to do. One was the O. Henry thing, where where the it says um it was the O. Henry thing where she was like, I sold my hair to get you a new meth pipe, and he says, but I smoked all my meth, and then that's the end of the. So he didn't, because and the basic thing, all the things that we were like, no, maybe not, were just, hey, this guy's a jerk. That's what they ended up being most of the time.
Well, I mean,
Um,
guys
but
mostly are.
but that's not a joke, really. Okay. So here's one. This isn't a joke either, right? You know the Ernest Hemingway for sale baby
Right.
shoes
The
never worn.
saddest thing ever written. Yeah.
Um, and I said, well, I've got a four uh word story that's great, and it instead of sad, it's like pretty awesome, and it's for sale, comma, baby, exclamation point, shoes, exclamation point, which I still think is great. And then I paired it with a photo of Austin Powers.
Punctuation is everything, so let's go eat
But
grandma.
none of the yeah, none of these are actual jokes though. These are not jokes. But there is, oh, we've talked about this, Ben. I think I talked about this the last time. That there are basic jokes, which is, like the guy walks out of a bar and sees a dog licking himself, and he says, "I wish I could do that." And his friend says, "You'll probably have to pet him first."
Yep.
There are lots of jokes that are like that, right? It's the same, the gorilla, and you hit him with the baseball bat, and he performs a sex act, and the guy says to the bartender, "That's amazing." The bartender says, "You want to try it?" And the guy says, "Yeah, just don't hit me so hard." They're the same joke, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Just the trappings are different. And there are G-rated versions of those jokes. You just have to figure out what they are. Can I do that? Not right now, but I had in the past. What? So some guy's brushing his dog's teeth, and someone says, you really should do that for yourself one of these days. And the guy says, how can I get my dog to hold the toothbrush? I don't know, something like that. I mean, you just have to get to figure it out, Ben. But this is the problem. I'm not a jokes guy. And this is why I like improv better than stand-up comedy. Although I think I could still do stand-up comedy. It's just I wouldn't be doing jokes. Speaking of which, Ben,
Paul.
your friend of mine, Bob Odenkirk, did stand up, but he did basically monologues when he did stand up.
Yeah.
He was on Conan O'Brien, did one. The reason I mentioned this is because nobody has a sequel that's coming out.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know what
Where he's on
is it just nobody
vacation.
Nobody 2?
Nobody 2, and he's on vacation.
Nobody else.
Nobody ruins his vacation is the tagline. And it's one of these things where somebody threatens his family and he can't let it go, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Somebody bumps into him a little too hard at the airport, and then it just goes off.
I'm serious about this. I think it involves somebody bumping into somebody else. I think that's it. Christopher Lloyd, though,
I could
is at
write this
least you
movie.
see him
Christopher Lloyd.
in it.
Is he the main bad guy? I'd love to see Christopher Lloyd as a bad
No,
guy.
no, Christopher Lloyd is his friend. He was in the
Uh,
other one.
I don't
Do you remember
remember.
that?
I
You
don't
remember that
remember
scene?
him from the first movie.
Oh, Ben, it's a great scene. You should look it up. He's in like a retirement home, and somebody tries to come and kill him. He takes care of business,
Every day.
Christopher Lloyd style. Um, so it's pretty good.
What does the yellow
Uh,
light mean?
oh no, what happened? I have a stitch in my side.
A stitch? Is it
I think I'll be
connected to
okay.
your back? I'm at that age now where everything. It's also one of the reasons why I had a doctor's appointment. Every sort of thing that I feel now is, in my mind, the thing that's going to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, Ben, I was walking around. It felt like my torso was just lightly balanced on my spine and could fall off at any moment.
I went to bed one night and I woke up in the middle of the night and my stomach was hurting, but it's not like this typical like stomach ache that you get. It felt like the top part of my belly was just like being ripped apart.
Oh
And
no!
I realized, and it was like I had to. I was seriously thinking about like where's the nearest urgent care if this goes on for a while.
Yeah,
What's going to happen to me? I don't know the cause of it. I just laid there and like focused on my breathing, and it eventually went away. But I realized that I think one of the reasons why that happened is because my dinner that night was basically pizza rolls and French fries.
mmm.
And so that's not my typical dinner. So my body is probably like, "What are you? What is this? What's this? What's going on?"
I gotta say, yesterday morning, Edward didn't eat anything, and which is atypical of him, right?
Yeah.
And so I pulled out all the stops. I tried to get him to eat a little bit of cheese. He wouldn't eat that. He loves cheese, and he wouldn't eat any of his greenies. He was just totally ignoring all food. And then later on, like around his regular dinner time, he suddenly was hungry again, like jumping around and all
He
that.
took a
So I don't
massive
know.
crap and then he was hungry again.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's just a little constipated.
little constipated dog. Maybe so. Maybe so.
My sister had a
But
cat that had constipation issues, and so she had to feed it canned pumpkin every morning.
wow.
He loved it.
Did that help with the constipation issues? Help with what? No. Again, one of my favorite jokes. You remember Red Meat, the comic?
I don't.
Oh, it was good. Maybe it's still around. A black and white comic, um, famously used sort of like not stock photos, not clip art, but the same images over and over again with
Yeah.
just different word balloons.
Yeah.
And it was, uh, man, I gotta quit smoking. All right, what you want to do is jump into a tub full of ice cold buttermilk, and that'll help. Help what? And that, one of my favorite jokes ever.
Yeah.
So I used to have, I don't think I have it anymore, but I used to have my favorite newspaper comic strip, which was there was a, and I wish I could remember exactly, but it was a man and a airline hostess who said, "I need to speak to the pilot!" Exclamation point, and then a shot of the plane and just someone saying "No," and that was it. It wasn't a gag cartoon. It was one of those things where it's like Mark Trail or whatever, a drama that unfolds one strip at a time in the newspaper. So that was just something that was
Part
that was
of a
happening.
larger story.
But for it just appearing, I was like, this is amazing, and I wanted to capture that feeling, and I never did do it. Maybe that's something I could work on later. But just capture that feeling of I have no idea what's going on and I don't have time to catch up. But this segment that I've got here um, is kind of amazing. So like you have a guy and he says but you forgot the most important thing. And then the next is a shot of a robot who just says, the bishop! Exclamation point. And then that's it. Are they playing chess? What's going on? Uh,
It's
are
4D
you,
shoots and ladders.
Ben,
I am.
uh, at all, uh, a, a minion of the owl?
A minion of the owl. I have to say no because I do not know what you are talking about.
Duolingo, Ben.
Ah, now I know what you're talking about.
Some people
I
are part of it, some people are
I
not.
disappoint the Duolingo owl constantly.
Okay.
And it lets me know.
That's one of the things that I think is great. I received an email one time that said, "You made Duo sad. You haven't studied French in a while," or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just wrote to it and said, "I've been going through some stuff lately, Duo."
Isn't
And
it like no reply at duolingo.com or something?
yeah, something like that. But I've been using it more often now because one of the options is chess. And so I've been
Chess.
playing Duo chess, and I figured out what they should do. And who knows? Like maybe they'll do a web search, maybe they'll listen to the audio, maybe they'll find out. I think Duolingo should do Morse code. I would be very happy
I know
to learn Morse code.
lot of people are upset with Duolingo right now because they are replacing all their human
Their
with AI.
AI stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
forgot about that.
I did turn on Duolingo. I don't know if I told you this that I'm going to Kenya in January. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you did.
So I turned on
Very
Duolingo
exciting.
to learn Swahili, at least some phrases in Swahili.
Do they speak that in Kenya?
Yeah, that's the well, it's English, right? Because it was a British colony, and
Yeah.
so it's English and Swahili are the two main languages. And so I thought, just learn some Swahili languages. If nothing else, I'll be able to identify when somebody's swearing at me,
Yeah.
or how to swear to somebody.
They don't put swears in Duolingo, man.
They should though. Duolingo for adults. And yeah, that's and I did 2 days of Swahili training. 2 days meaning like a total of probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And Duolingo just spammed my inbox with how disappointed the owl is in me.
Well, Ben, the only thing I can say is that in the end, you will benefit some from learning it. But as you, a person more well-traveled than me, knows, the most learning Swahili you're going to do is when you're actually there and using it.
Yeah. Immersed, as they say.
Immersed
Much
in it.
like being underwater.
And most likely, as you know, having gone to many foreign countries before, as soon as they know that you speak English, no matter what attempts you make, the conversation will be in English, which should be fine.
This is also true.
And speaking of being also true, Ben, we are at the end.
We're at the end of the show.
Today's podcast. And Ben, it was always nice to talk to you in the past, and it remains so in the present, and I hope it shall be in the future. How's it happening? Keep it wrong. And until we speak again, which will most likely be tomorrow.
Might be tomorrow.
I will see you later.
All right. How's it happening? Keep it wrong.